Um, so I recorded this earlier, twice. The recording didn't stick. So yeah, I'm just probably gonna be talking about the channel and where it's gonna go the next 2 or 3 minutes. I'm put a number in description for how long. So yeah, if you guys want to skip this part, go right ahead. Look at the number in the description. But I suggest you guys listen to this. So I've always thought Naruto was more audio than visual, and My Hero was always more visual than audio. So I'll be doing texting stories, My Hero, and when I do Naruto stories, I'll be doing it audio for those audio lovers and texting story lovers. I'm sorry, I always thought it went this way, so I'm gonna keep it this way. Now, here's the kicker. As you guys can see, very first one is First Life. Very left one. Second to left, Second Life, obviously, third in the line, Third Life. What if Naruto, female Naruto, was a reincarnator or transmigrator, whatever you want to call her? So we start with two orbs. One is just pure white, shining super brightly, and the other one is dark blue. Just dark blue, just sitting there. And it's like, okay, yeah, I've been sitting here for maybe 10, 20 minutes, and this person that I took out another story, I don't even remember what name she had or where I got her from, but she died in her last story. And I'll use her. Came from, so, meh. He takes physical form in the form of me, the unsmooth criminal. Yay! So the mask shows up, then the rest of the body shows up. I'm in a dapper suit. I'm a little chubby because all I do is sit around and make storylines all day and have the worlds come to life. I don't exercise, well, except for my job, which I do just for fun. And this. So we go to maybe 10, 20 minutes later. She finally turns around and she's just staring at me. And I'm staring back. And I go, you know, you could take physical form, right? You could imagine whatever you want. So she takes her mortal form. And I snap my fingers because she had nothing on. So I forced clothes onto her. Like, okay, I'm a perv, but not that much of a perv. And she goes, okay then. I go, you're missing love in your last life. You died prematurely. And she just starts getting irritated. I start listing off every single thing in her life that she has a grudge about. And finally, after 10, 20 minutes about me listing off all these minute details, she flips out. She's like, what the hell do you want? I go, okay, first things first, I want you to fix the storyline. And she goes, what? And I go, yeah, I'm a god. Well, in this place, I'm a god. I make stories. I make worlds and people to fill them. I need you to fix the storyline. I kind of made everybody too powerful and they can't solve their disputes, so I'm going to have to add a character that's even more powerful so that they could finish the storyline. Because the original storyline didn't ever end. So yeah. I can't destroy anything or take anything back in the storyline, but I can continue adding. And that's it. And she looks at me like I'm crazy. And I go, hey, you'll see when you get there. But I need to prepare you, so I'm taking your, how should I say this? Elemental affinities from your last life, because I know you're a mage. And you're one of the top mages because you had all this mage crafty stuff. And yeah, you're not going to need your mage. Your mana knowledge. Well, you may need it a little in your fourth life. You won't need it next life. There's no magic next life, so good luck. All of a sudden, her world goes black, and she wakes up in a baby's body. 80-ish years later, I'm just sitting there, just watching, and I go, oh, she finally died. The bright white orb now has red in it, and I go, congratulations! You've now successfully gone through 2 lives. One more, and you'll be ready for the new world. And she goes, okay then. So, I was deaf my first life because whoever wrote that story wanted to torture me. And I say, yeah, about that. I prepared you for being blind because of the last life and your weapon mastery and while being blind. Did you have any epiphany to how to see while you're blind? And she goes, yeah. I can basically use echolocation, and I go, yay. That's going to make my job a lot easier. So next life, you have sight again, but you're very, very hyperactive, and your goal is, well, to learn and to get as knowledgeable as possible. By the way, the original storyline that I'm going to send you to is in this world. So you can watch it, you can have fun with it. So I send her into this world. She goes through it. She comes back to me 92 years later. She goes, what storyline? I go, you'll see. Congratulations. And after maybe 10-20 minutes of me explaining what I want her to do, of basically finishing the storyline, I say, by the way, your bloodline, I'm gonna give you a little quick update. So the view around us change, and we're currently in front of 3 people. One has glowing red eyes. Another has glowing blue eyes. I'm changing the Renegon into a blue version. There's nothing else changed besides it going from purple to blue. And instead of a pink Tensegon, I think. No. Upgraded Byakugan, it's blue. Byakugan is still going to be white. And they're not touching the ground. And the person in front of them is flipping out because he can't see. And I explain what's going on. The guy with the blue eyes, the really cool blue eyes, by the way, is Hagoromo Otsutsuki. Completely forgot the other guy's name, but you'll learn it later. Most likely, or if you remember. I honestly forgot his name. Otsutsuki's brother. Yeah. And she goes, oh, Naruto. And I go, yeah, but you're Naruto. Not Naruto. Sorry. And she goes, that's fine. I go, by the way, that's your ancestor, the guy that's going cuckoo. She goes, bruh. I go, hey, don't mean me. My life is a meme. hey, just, yeah, makes sense. So what's going on? Well, he fully activated his abilities, so he's going cuckoo from bloodlust. Your first and second life would have taught you to what? How should I say this? Control it. So yeah, and all of a sudden in the background you hear blood style, blood domain, and the entire area starts going dark, like almost pitch black, and all you hear is the drops of blood on the ground, or the drops of liquid onto the ground. But since you heard blood domain, you picture it as blood. And you just hear the drops, and the guy starts lashing out these glowing red objects. Well, they're very slightly glowing. They're glowing like friggin' headlights to both Hagoromo and his brother. They got the Byakugan. So, after maybe 2 or 3 days straight of fighting, they finally knock out the rampaging guy and put 3 seals on him. One is a chakra seal, one is a bloodlust seal, and the other one is a paralysis seal. And they use the Sage of Six Paths gourd, if you guys remember that from the War Arc. They use the gourd and stuff him in it. So we go maybe 100 years into the future. It's currently the Warring Clan's time, and the Kuma Gekir, Kuma village, is collecting six paths, or the Cloud Nation, I should say, because Warring Clans, there's no actual villages yet. They're collecting objects, and they see one of the objects that they're currently putting with the rest is heavier than the rest. Even though, yes, it does absorb chakra, making it really heavy, it's even heavier. Like it's absorbing twice as much chakra than the rest. So, right, one of the Fourth Raikage's old descendants opens it just for curiosity to see what's in it, because none of the other Six Paths the Six Paths weapons are acting like this. He opens it, and this guy flops out of it like a dead fish. He just flops out of it. And everybody's looking at him like, what the hell is he? Because he's pale white, his eyes are blood red, but he has no pupils. His eyes are like blank red. Like he can't, and it looks like he has pointy ears. His hair's bleached white. His nails are super long. And he has a sick ass coat on. Naruto's not going to get that. And the entire time, I and this mystery woman, and I'm not going to name her because she's about to get the name Naruto, are watching, and I go, ooh, this is the best part. And the guy stands up, pulls off all 3 tags, because all 3 of them have lost effectiveness after so many years of not getting chakra. So the guy starts walking away, and the Raikage's ancestor, walks up to him and asks if he's okay, because he just came out of an ancient weapon that's been sealed away for countless years. And he goes, yes. And he asks, where is the seal? And the guy goes, I don't know what seal you're talking about. He goes, where am I? And the Raikage's ancestor says, Cloud Country. And he goes, I don't know where that is. Do you know where the forest is? And he goes, the closest forest we got is up north. If I remember, no, I think it's east. I think it's east. I don't remember the Naruto map. But he directs him there, and the guy goes, thank you. And he pulls off a necklace. And this is a very scary necklace because it has claws. And it looks like it's off of a biju. And it's releasing such a thick cloud of chakra. And he goes, if you ever see someone go berserk, like they can't control themselves, throw this at them. No matter who it is, it will calm them down. Not by suppressing anything, not by doing anything. It will just cause any creature that sees it fear. Or just show it to them. You don't need to throw it, because every creature that you're probably going to use it on is either a biju, which, I bet Kurama is having some fun right now, or my descendants. Yeah, that's going to be a very weird talk. But anyway, thank you for helping me get out of the pot thing over there. And he goes, what's wrong with your eyes? In a deep, gruff voice that no one can mistake. Everybody knows that it's going to be the Raikage's voice. Like that deep of voice. And the guy goes, can't you see? I'm blind. And nobody gets the humor. And he was poking fun at himself because that's the only way he's going to stay sane, is he makes fun of situations. So he starts walking in a certain direction and he goes, I didn't show you where east is. And he goes, well, I'm just walking towards the seal. I don't know why I know where it is. I just do. I'm just going to start walking. And he's about to walk into water. Like, literally walk underneath the water. But someone yells, you're about to walk into water. And he goes, I know. I feel the safest underwater. Well, technically, I feel safest for you guys underwater. And this bubble of chakra just envelops his head. And he just walks under the water. Like Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, where he's under the boat with Will. Yeah, that kind of walk. And he's just walking there, and he finally has to get out of the water, and so he uses his heightened hearing and his smell to stay away from people. He uses it to hunt too, because he still needs to eat like everybody else. He used his abilities to create a dome of air underwater and catch fish and do that, because he has every single chakra in nature. And yes, I'm going to give you that. And she looks at me and goes, what just happened? I was watching the story, and then all of a sudden you started talking, and it made complete sense. I go, well, it's my power as a god. Now continue watching. She turns back to the story, and I skip a little ahead, and he makes it to the Senju and Uchiha warring zone, the two clans. And he walks directly to where the center of Konoha is going to be, right under Hokage Tower. Right under where Hokage Tower is going to be. Madara and Hashirama are currently friends right now. Yes, I'm going to make it that weird. They're currently friends right now. So they're currently overlooking this entire valley. Madara's good eyes and Hashirama's good sensing abilities notice the man in the middle. So they're like, you feel that, right? And they're both like, yeah, let's go. So they run there, and the guy's just standing in front of what looks like an entire boulder that's been buried for years. Um, like it's just barely showing itself, and he sees the markings, and he uses one hand and punches it, and the entire thing just goes poof, like expands and then contracts, and now you can get all the way around it, but it's really a dome. So he goes all the way down to the bottom, and he sees the sealing formula, and he understands it completely. So he cuts his entire arm open and just sprays blood over it. And while the blood is deactivating the sealing formula, he's rewriting the sealing formula. And he's going to make this to where it's the hardest thing to decrypt. And he just keep writing it and writing it. It takes him 3 days to do this. And the entire time, Madara and Hashirama are watching and keeping an eye on him because he's just this random dude doing this super complex thing, and they don't know why. And finally he finishes and gets to the top, and he punches it again. The sealing formula completely disappears, and the entire ground collapses. And he sits down and looks at the two young men that have been watching him and says, "What?" And they're freaked out because he's been acting like nothing's going on. What they don't know is that he's been seeing their chakra and seeing the chakra that he's been writing with the entire time, even though he is blind. He has the ability to see chakra. He doesn't need to activate any dojutsu. It's always active. So he sat down and he's just sitting there on top of it. And he says, if you're thinking about building on this land, make this the hardest spot to get to. That's my only request if you build on this land. And Hashirama and Madara look at him and go, why should we do that? And he goes, if this sealing formula ever gets found out or loosens, it's worse than all the Biju together. And Madara has already met Kuruma. Hashirama has already met most of the Biju. Shukaku, Chome, Kuruma, most of them. And he's like, yeah, we've been trying to fend them off, so if we release that, and he says it's worse than all of them together, and what they don't know is that the guy is referring to the 10 tails. Not all the Biju stuck together. He's referring to the 10 tails. Mother Nature, basically. So he waits for their response, and they look at him and they agree. So he's like, okay, I'm going to disappear. I'm the only one who knows how to perform this sealing ritual, and if I'm dead, then oh well. But leave a note for your successors if they ever find a child with red eyes and white hair. Watch out, because they're probably my successors or my descendants. And he knows his mother had the same abilities as him, and how crazy she went when her bloodlust got out of control. When she went absolutely bonkers because she was pressured by the king. So he's like, okay, I'm going. Hopefully we meet again, but hopefully not soon. And he goes to the land of the Uzumaki. And he learns the Reaper Death Seal. So we go maybe 50, 60 years later. He still looks the same, but he's currently on the deathbed of his wife, and Namikaze. And he goes, we are just farmers. We are nothing more than just farmers. And she understands what he's trying to say because she was a shinobi. She was a chakra user. And he uses the Reaper Death Seal to seal both of their souls. That will come back important later. So the Namikaze line starts. All of a sudden, we get to Minato. He's 5 years old. His entire family got attacked. He runs to Fire Country, and it's in the middle of war. He runs. The border sees him, a 5-year-old child, and there's thousands of shinobi trying to hunt him. Well, not really thousands. More like thousands of clones. Trying to hunt him down, and they don't know which one. And they all look at this, and they're like, what the hell's going on? And all of a sudden, they see the child disappear, and all the clones dispel at once. And he reappears, falls face first onto the ground, and I think it's Sakumo. He's a Chunin in this point. He's doing border patrol. Yeah, I think that's right. I'm gonna make him a little older. Kakashi is just barely yeah. No. How I'm gonna do the age? No, he's not gonna be a Chunin. He's not. He's not there yet. A Chunin Hiruzen. That's gonna be better. Chunin Hiruzen. He's 20s, and he picks him up and he takes him to the village. He takes him to the infirmary. Seal masters, the Uzumaki that they still have, put seals on him to restrict chakra and that. And he finally wakes up. He tells his side of the story that he was just minding his own business farming, and then all of a sudden those ninja attack. So we go during the academy. Minato is 17 because the academy is going to be ending at 18. It's currently 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Sun's just going down, and Minato hears something. Yes, he has improved hearing, but he still has his eyesight. He hears something, and he follows it. He starts smelling something, smell of blood. So he follows it, and finally he gets to two people with a bag over their shoulder. And this bag has a small hole in it, and it's bleeding. Whatever's in the bag. No, she didn't drop her crimson red hair. Not in this one. She's currently knocked out with a very slow blood, or very slow injury. And she has a very rare blood disease, which may or may not be given to Naruto. I don't know. I'm going to be asking someone in a second. Let me start doing that now. Hello, everybody. It's been close to a day, and I'm sorry, but I won't be able to get Sis in here. That was originally my plan, because she got sick. I'm I'm not allowed to tell you guys what it is, even though I know what it is, and I'm laughing at my own prediction. So, yeah. Uh, you'll see the background changed immediately. Hopefully, I can get a software to stitch the videos together. But I'm back. It's been a day, so easy. I'm thinking of my hero. Naruto is going to have this disease. I completely forgot what the disease's name is, but she's going to have it. The very first thing I want to say is the top right picture is what she wears in fights. It's all chainmail. Bottom right picture is what she wears to disguise her chainmail, and the picture to the left is what she wears normally. Then the bottom left picture is her katana or nodachi for those people who know the larger weapons in the family. So, well, we we start off again, right back to Minato. He's going to be around 34 in this, and he's known as the Thunder God, obviously, and Shinobi no Kami, or the God of Shinobi, because of his 5 chakra natures. He doesn't have blood style, even though he's going to be able to, even though his daughter's going to be able to use it. He doesn't have it. So, here's the fun part. We go to the birth of Naruto. I, the unsmooth criminal, the god of this narrative world, look over. I've seen the soul next to me, and I ask, "Are you ready?" And she goes, "Frick, I've seen this already, but sure, let's go." I go, "Oh, you have not seen how I make this story. Good luck." And she goes and she's put into Naruto's body. Naruto's heart starts beating and her eyes open. She obviously is blind because duh. But she has a very special vision. She has the Byakugan and Sharingan combo, but she can't see any color or any light. All she sees is chakra. She can see the natures of the chakra. She can see the sources of the chakra, and if it's a yin half or yang half, and that's it. Darker colors are, I think, yang, and lighter colors are yin. I don't remember the yin and yang side color things, so yeah. She can see darker or lighter colors depending on what effect it's going to have on the person. So yeah. Nature energy, on the other hand, is completely clear. No, it's not green. That's wood style. It's completely clear, but it has a fuzzy effect. And when she sees a dark spot or a blank spot from this fuzzy energy, she knows that people are there. So she's looking directly at her mother. She can't see anything except for the Kyuubi chakra, because the Kyuubi chakra always flows through the coils. So she gets taken away from her mother. What they don't know is that the Uchiha that currently is fighting them hasn't used his Mangekyo long. So he is losing his Mangekyo, or first using it, which makes his eyes bleed. A drop of blood hits Naruko. Her hair goes white immediately. It was originally yellow. Her eyes were blue, where she can't see out of them though. Just go straight red. The mask, the Shinigami mask in the Uzumaki compound shatters. And this like little blood droplet stabs her right in the tailbone area. And we'll get to that later. And this was formed out of her own blood. Her skin goes pale white. She loses all color. Two of her teeth grow in. The rest of her teeth aren't there yet. Two of her teeth grow in, just barely. They start growing faster than the others. And we go to where should I have it? Okay, we go after the Nine Tails attack, where Minato is dying, Kushina is dying, and they just sealed the entire Nine Tails into Naruto. Naruto has such a massive chakra pool as a child. They're like, okay, we need to seal the entire Nine Tails in this chakra because we have no chance of sealing it back into either Kushina or the Reaper Death Seal because, well, I'm not going to make Minato go into the Reaper Death Seal yet. And you'll see why. It's going to be great. Well, so that happened. The Madara, air quotes, Madara Uchiha got his ass whooped. His mask fell off. He had a black mask underneath that only showed his Sharingan. He left. He went away. And he's recuperating from the fight. He takes his mask off and is cursing out the fourth Hokage. We go back to the fourth. He's dying. We get a quick flashback of him in a meeting room with Iruka's father, Kakashi's father, and Sarutobi. Yes, Sarutobi. So Iruka has planned since he was little to go into teaching. So Minato asked for his father instead. So they're currently in the room, and he goes, I have a bloodline. They all look at him deadpan and go, what? He explains what his bloodline is: better hearing, worse eyesight, and just basically speed based. And they're all like, okay. So Hiruzen leaves because, well, he had clan issues. His son started having a medical issue that he needed to join in the hospital. Tsunade hasn't left yet. This is months and months before the birth of Naruto. Sorry. And so he briefs Kakashi with the in-depth history of his clan, the 3 generations of his clan, only 3, and that there's only ever been born one child in this family, and everybody around them know if you make them angry, they go berserk. Or if you hurt them hard enough, something, they don't know what, comes out of nowhere, possesses people, makes them all fall down asleep, and completely ravages the area, and everybody's fine, except for the person that was standing there-ish. Or, how should I say this? going berserk. No one can remember what happened at that time. So, Kakashi completely understands. Iruka's father understands. We go to the Ninetales attack. Iruka's father, on his deathbed, told Iruka, there's a child from the fourth Hokage that will need your help. Ask Kakashi Hatake. Or Kakashi. So yeah. Leo, come on. You want to go out? Come on. Come here. Come here. I left this door open just so I can let you guys out. There we go. My cat just went outside. So yeah. Kakashi, in the next 4 years, has been spying on Naruto. We go 5 years into the future. Naruto knows who her parents are, but she's not telling the third Hokage. She knows that Kushina was her mother, the Red Death, and has changed. She knows that the fourth Hokage, the Thunder God, was her father, and she knows that she has a bloodline. She doesn't know what it does. She doesn't know how to control it yet. But Kakashi was told once she hits 5 years old, don't let anybody touch her for at least 2 days. We're going to get to that. It is currently October 10th, her 5th birthday. You guys see where this is going, don't you? So, during this little day, everybody's hunting down the QB brat. They don't know that she can hear them coming. What she doesn't know is an Ambu that also has prejudice against her is coming up behind her in his normal clothes, in his normal Jonin outfit. So 3 other Jonin are just out of eyesight range or sight, compressing their presence as much as possible. The Ambu takes a kunai and stabs her through the heart. She immediately flops to the floor, completely in a daze. The kunai is just stuck there. She starts bleeding profusely. Her eyes go blank. They roll into the back of her head. Her mouth opens. She starts basically foaming at the mouth like what rabies do to animals, but just saliva. She's not actually foaming. She's drooling from her nose sharpens, her ears elongate into that of elf ears, her nails elongate, her entire body starts bulking up to this massive muscle for just being a child, and in a split second, she's already on the Jonin that just stabbed her through the heart with the kunai still on her chest. She grabs the front of the kunai, rips it through herself, and starts cutting every single tendon he has off of the bone. So he lost his legs and his arms. The rest of the 3 or 4 Jonin that were around just start bombarding her with jutsus. Kakashi was currently in a meeting with Hiruzen saying, okay, I need to leave the Ambu. And he's asking why all of a sudden an explosion goes off in the middle of the village. All the civilians are running with the like chickens with their heads cut off, just completely freaking out. Jonin and Ambu are both going there. Kakashi currently has both Sharingan, yes. If you guys don't remember that from the first episode. I think I got it first episode. If I didn't, oh well, he has both Sharingan. And if I didn't, you guys can tell me in the comments of this episode. I think I'm going to make it 2 episodes. So, we go to the incident. Hiruzen is currently dealing with paperwork because his entire Ambu force left because Kakashi's like, "Oh crap, I left her too long," and Hiruzen heard this, being like, "What's going on?" Kakashi can handle it, obviously, because Might Guy, Kakashi, 10 Anbu, extra Anbu are there. 13 other Jonin are all there trying to deal with one girl. Kakashi finally is keeping up with her for a few seconds with the help of Guy, and he's healing the wound in her heart. He's literally healing the giant gaping hole in her heart. Finally, she heals perfectly. Because he has the Mystic Palm technique. She heals the entire wound to just a little trickle of blood, and he wipes the blood off. And he immediately does a summoning jutsu with her blood. Now, if you guys remember, the seal from last episode, she cannot summon these creatures. Only other people's chakra, besides, God damn it, Leo, besides the main house. Only other people could summon these creatures. All of a sudden, a sleep genjutsu goes off in the entire crowd. Kakashi dispels it. Guy completely resisted it because he has all 7 gates open currently. Well, not all 7 gates. He has 7 out of 8 gates open to deal with a child. And these creatures start coming out of people's shadows. And they look like humanoid wolves. Kakashi's completely stunned. They look at Kakashi. They look up at the sky. The entirety of Konoha has been put to sleep. This giant wolf with countless tails comes out of the shadow of a building. They all howl simultaneously and attack Naruto. She's currently weakened because of how much blood she's lost and for how long she's been fighting. Kakashi only healed the wound. He didn't help her recover chakra. So they start pouncing on her, ripping her to shreds. Kakashi sees this and going like, "What the hell?" Minato Sensei told me that they would calm her down. She loses consciousness. All the wolves go near her with the parts that they ripped off of her, stick it back to the part that they, or the place that they got it from, and the giant wolf smashes her with its paw, and they all disappear into smoke. The entirety of Konoha starts shaking, and Kakashi's wondering where the shaking comes from. Guy's like, "What the hell's going on?" So he goes straight to the shaking with Kakashi in hand, because they've been trying to stay away from the wolves, because they don't know what the wolves do. They go to the Hokage Tower where the shaking comes from. They see that the shaking is from the room where the Hokage is in. The mat is moved slightly. And they don't know why. Because nobody touches anything in the Hokage's room. They flip up the mat, and they see just the top of a rock covered in seals. And they go, "Oh." So I put the mat down, they get everything ready, and Kakashi's just standing there with Guy, and he goes, "Okay, what the hell is going on?" And I'm going to end it there for today. I know it's a short video. I know. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please leave a like. I'm going to see if I can stitch part 1 and part 2 together. So this is just one straight part 1. But who knows? We'll talk later. Bye!